Good morning to you once again. You are looking live over False River up in New Roads, courtesy of Our Lady of the Lake Sky 9. We're off to a real quick start here. 82 degrees, already feels like 87, so we're definitely heating things up. And it looks like it is going to be a little bit hotter, a little more humid than we've been over the past couple of days. And where we have been the past few days is locked into that 91, right on the money with where we typically are. So the first 3 days of September, 1, 2, 3, all three of them, we have hit exactly 91 degrees. Wish I could tell you today's going to be a little bit cooler, but the reverse. It's going to be a little bit hotter than that. Check out the full corn moon. That's going to be high in the sky, and we'll have two chances, one on Saturday night, one more on Sunday night. So both nights over the weekend, we should be able to see it. The thing about it is, it actually will feature a blood moon eclipse, all of which we will not see here at all in the United States. It's visible almost across the entire globe, but not here in the United States. So to us, it's just going to appear as a very typical full moon. But next month in October, we'll get actually a supermoon, so that'll be something cool too. We get a lot of flickers of green on our screen, all false radar echoes over there. The only thing that's actually legitimate is to the south of the Lake Charles area, and that's not even heading in our way. So for the most part, it looks very quiet around the region. The Gulf looks quiet for the most part. Fingers crossed that it's going to stay that way. And we look at the future cast, and it doesn't look like we see much for today. You're going to see the Baton Rouge area staying mainly dry, and in fact, I would even say that tomorrow, for the most part, is looking dry. But as we get to Friday afternoon and the early part of the evening, maybe one or two isolated storms. I don't think it's really going to adversely impact Friday night football. Really should be good to go. So we've had drier, stabler air over the past couple days. But in advance of the next cold front, you start to see we'll pump in more of that moisture. So Saturday, Sunday, we do have chances of rain. They're still going to be very low, very limited. Hold on to your outdoor weekend plans. And then here comes this front. It drives right on by, and then we wrap in this real dry air, this very stable air, and that should nix the rain chances. Not only that, but it's going to make it look and feel better. Check out what I'm talking about, the difference between Sunday ahead of the front and then Monday of next week behind the front. So we are going to see wholesale differences, big improvements in that forecast. So that's looking good. Are the tropics looking good? That's the million-dollar question, because we are right in the thick of it. We're in peak hurricane season in this early part of September. Still have this wave with an 80% chance. And as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't look like it poses a threat to the Gulf. In fact, it most likely remains a fish storm. Obviously, the East Coast is going to keep a real watchful eye on this, but I think it stays in that typical September tropical formation area. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Meanwhile, for today, you won't need the rain gear. It's a high temperature of 93 degrees. Then for tonight, it looks like we're still relatively mild, getting down to 72 degrees, and the moon getting bigger and brighter out there as we approach this weekend. Speaking of the weekend, there you go. Saturday, a 20% chance. Sunday, it's only 30%. So again, if you have outdoor weekend plans, both days, go ahead and hold on to them. But look at Monday, not only dry, but a high of only the mid-80s. And what about lows in the mid-60s next week? We are definitely looking forward to that taste of fall.